Hi guys, I'm Dean Barton. I grow and scale construction industry businesses and I also help people exit their company. I'm experienced in business up to £10 million a year, and the most important thing to get right in a business is the money system. There are 4 types of money in a business, and if you understand each 4 that I'm going to go through on this video, you will have a really clear idea on what you need to focus on to, one, not only make the most amount of money that you can get, but actually, number 2, giving you the biggest return on investment for the things that you do in your business. Money makes the world go round, and we're all in business to make more money. Trust me, I'm with you. Every one of my companies, I'm in it to make as much money as possible, because money is what allows you to grow, and it is what allows you to build a team and scale a company. You cannot do anything without money and profitability in a company. But a lot of you reach out for help because you just don't have a grasp on your numbers. The bank is up and down like a yo-yo, and you're not really sure where you stand and what is actually making you money, and most importantly, what things are not making you money. And the root cause of not having a grasp on your numbers and your money is not knowing the difference accurately between sales, profitability and cash flow. And that's what we're going to get really clear on today in this video. So there are 4 types of money in a business, and everyone talks about money, but not many people actually have money. And it's the key difference between knowing what is sales, what is profit and what is cash flow. So let's go through the 4 types of money. I'm going to do it on the whiteboard so it's really nice and easy to understand. Now, number 1, when it comes to money in a business, all of these monies talk to each other, by the way. They're all interlinked. But number 1 is your sales. How much revenue you're doing as a business. Now, obviously, a leading indicator of business, if you're doing more revenue, it means you are growing the top line. But sales is only one part of business. And actually, for you as an owner, you have to get in the mindset that sales is the least important number. It's the front engine, it's the front driving number of a business, but it's actually the least important. And it's actually the employee mindset that income is the most important thing. And all of your staff will look at how much is in it for them. How much are they earning a day? How much salary are they getting? How much are they getting paid? That is your employee's equivalent of sales. It's that top number, that what's in it for them. But that number for you as a business owner is only one part of the massive puzzle, really, because sales is only one thing. You can be doing a lot of sales, but if you're not making money out of it, which is the next piece of money, which is your profit, it's irrelevant. Whereas your staff will think that, well, we must be doing well because we're doing sales. And you've got to start actually educating your senior team, your office team, that sales does not equal profit. And it sounds as silly and stupid that I'm saying that to you right now. Most people, most employees don't understand the difference. They think because you've made sales of millions of pounds, you've got millions of pounds. You and me know that's very different. So the profitability has got to be there. And actually the profit is the most important thing, because there is no point doing work, there's no point doing sales if there's no profit in it, because you haven't got a business. And the biggest problem that I see is that people are operating businesses at suboptimal margins. You're doing it too cheap. You're not being on top of your costs. You're not protecting your profitability in the middle. And without that, you can't grow. Because when you overlink good revenue and good streams of sales with the right gross margins of jobs, you get growth. And that's really what we want. We want you to have a growing business. You cannot grow without profitability. You've got to have it. Growth in here is everything. Whereas actually what most people have got is chaos. Nothing's happening here. Like, it's not enough. You're working to slim margins. You cannot build a business. So what we want to do, if sales are on the increase, profitability is on the increase, and you're working to set standard margins, then what you've got to worry about, the next type of money, is cash flow. Because without cash flow, it doesn't matter what sales you're doing, it doesn't matter what profitability you've got. If you run out of cash, you're out of the game. You're out of business. So you have to master all 3 of these as a business owner. And if you are taking your eye off the ball of one of these elements of the types of money in a business, your business will fail. So you've got to always be pushing, right, are the sales where they should be? Great. Tick, checkbox 1. But number 2, are the margins being made on those jobs? Are we hitting the right level of profitability? Because if you don't, you're not going to grow the business. You're not going to be able to pay the staff properly. You're not going to be able to build up profits. You're not going to be able to build a company and scale it. But number 3 is the cash flow. You need a cash flow tool that accurately shows you what is your cash position, when is the money coming in, and when is it going out. And you've got to think with cash flow, you've got a period of 30 days. So if you imagine a timeline, day 0 of the month, day 30 of the month, you always want money going in and out within those days, within the 0 to 30. But what happens is most people, you're actually getting paid here. Could be day 60, could be day 90. You're getting paid here. But all your bills are going out here. Everything comes around once a month. The rent comes around once a month. All of your subscriptions come around once a month. Staff need paying once a month, or they should be. A lot of you, I know you're paying weekly or bi-monthly. It's not good enough. You've got to stretch your terms. Life works in 30-day cycles, personally as well. The mortgage goes out every single month. The bills come out every single month. So if you are growing a business, this is where businesses crash and burn themselves, is that they grow too quick and the money's coming in too late. And although on the face of it, the sales are going up, that's great, that's working well, and you can have the profitability. If you do it too quick and you get money too late, you run out of cash. So you're out of the game. And the only thing that stops a business is running out of cash. Sales problems or short-term profitability problems can be solved, but cash flow problems can't be solved unless you have to bring more money into the business, or like I say, you have to shut it down. And the main key differentiator between the sales, the profit, and the cash flow is just time. So you've got to make sure that you are building your business around the time frame of 30 days. Now, the best thing in business is actually getting deposits. So let's say you're minus 30 days between the next month. If you are getting money in ahead of you starting a job, that is always going to help with cash flow, that you're ahead of when you need to then pay the money out within the 30-day windows that you've got in a business. And you've got to be careful, you've got to watch it, because any deposit is not actually your money until you start the job. So it is actually a liability. It will sit on your balance sheet as a liability until you start the job and you've actually commenced. That cooling off period has ended between you and the client, and you've actually committed to costs on the job. You've bought materials, you've instructed labour, a client can see that, then you are safe. But the benefit of having deposits is it keeps you ahead of the curve, that you're getting in money before you've got to pay it. So the name of the game is getting in as much money as quick as possible. And some of you have got weird beliefs and weird shifts on charging clients and getting money in quick, but you've got to get cash in, and you've got to keep onto the cash as long as you can. That's what the best businesses do. So you've got to extend your payment terms. Most suppliers in this industry, they'll work to 60 days. They'll work to 30 days end of month, so you've got a lot of time to pay them. So you're on the front foot of building cash flow. Your staff, you need to be paying them really once a month, but subcontractors, it might have to be twice a month. I quite like to do the 15th of the month and the 30th of the month, but certainly paying people weekly is killing your cash flow. You won't be getting enough money ahead of time, and you are basically ruining the business. And that's why the bank will be going up and down all the time, because you've got no firm control of keeping the cash for as long as possible. So what I would do for you, if you own a company, is actually go through your bank account and actually look at the high and low swing of the bank for the last 6 months. See what is the minimum it goes down to, and what is the maximum it goes up to. And that will start showing you how much cash you actually need to run and float the company operationally. So you've got to think, if you want to double the company, you're going to need double that cash. If you want to triple the company, you're going to need triple that cash. Cash flow is the one that people always go wrong on. And if you don't have a cash flow tracker and you're not watching your cash flow, I guarantee you have got cash flow problems. Now, that is all quite operational stuff. The first 3 types of money is quite standard operationally. You've probably heard of them, but you're probably not doing them, and they're probably not as on point and as sharp as they should be. So you've got to refine that and take that lesson from this video. First and foremost is keep an eye on your sales every single week. What are you selling? What are you winning? What are you not winning? Where are the numbers heading? But then equally looking at the gross profit margins on every single project that you are doing. Are your jobs, are your projects hitting the gross margins that they should be? If they're not, you've got work to do. And then looking at your cash flow, is the bank building every month? And if it's not, you've got problems. You should be building cash reserves in the company. If you're taking too much money out too soon, you are literally hindering growth, because you can't grow a business without cash. Now, number 4, to wrap this up on the 4 types of money, There is a fourth type of money that no one pays attention to, and it's actually the most important to a business owner. I know my writing's terrible. It's the equity value that you are creating in a company. This is the most important thing that you focus on as you grow a business, because what your business is worth is going to pay you the most amount of money than you've ever earned before. The sales, the profitability, and the cash flow, they're the function of the business. They've got to be performing. But you want to be building a business that is worth something. Otherwise, what's the point in being in business? It's not worth the stress. It's not worth the headache. It's not worth all of the long hours and all of the ball aches that you put into running a company. Once you get your head switched onto building a real business that's actually worth money, you want to be focused all of the time on building equity value in your company and what is called shareholder value. Now, you might only be the only shareholder of your business right now, but as you grow and scale, you might have other shareholders that come on board to help you really push it and go into the tens of millions, 20 millions, and as far as you want to go. And if you want to build a business that's worth something, that's very different to just earning some profit in the business and just taking that profit out and then killing cash flow, and you stay at the same level all of the time. And this is what people do. This is what small-minded business owners do. They make some sales, they make some profit, and then they take the money out, the cash flow drops back down again, and they can't grow. And there's no value to the company. Now, value to the company is going to be built on some really key things. Number one, that it works without you. Number two, it's systemized. Number two, it's built up cash flow. Number three, it's got great clientele. And all of these types of things are what builds equity value. So you might not see today the priority of building equity value by building systems in your company, but it's because you're just focused on making profit and sales today. But here's the kicker. If you make 100 grand profit in the business, you've only got 100 grand. You can't take that whole 100 grand out. You've got corporation tax to pay. And let's be honest, once you've paid dividends tax at almost 40%, it's not really any money. It's not going to change your life for the good. Whereas if you build a business that is making hundreds of thousands of pounds of profit, maybe even £1 million a year in profit, what really comes into impact is the equity value. Because equity value, and I'm going to make this really easy for you guys to understand, is that let's say you've got a business that's making 500k a year. So you're focused on growth and you get it to making 500 grand a year net. Being a business at that size in the construction industry, you will get a valuation of between 3 and 5 times the net profitability of the company. So let's just say 3 to make it really easy. That 500 grand a year business is potentially worth 1.5 million to you. So instead of taking small money out, you're only thinking about building the bigger ship, because it's going to make you a lot more money. And equally, if you even never sell your company, it's always best to build a company that you could sell, because then it does run without you. If something happens, if you need to go somewhere, if you get ill, if you want to slow down as you retire, wherever it might be, if you've got a business that is built to sell, it's guaranteed it's going to be running without you. So it's going to be a much nicer thing to own rather than just owning a profitable job. And that's what most people do. They just own a profitable job. And look, you know, different things for different people, but that's the idea of hell for me. That's the last thing that I want to build in a company. I'm in business to make money and build a really solid company that makes a lot of profit, but it's actually worth something. There's a team in place, there's systems in place, and it works like clockwork. And that's what you really want. But that 1.5 million is just a start, because the other thing on top of that is that the more assets you build in the company, the more equity value there is in the business as well. So you want to be focused on growing your net assets. So if you look at your balance sheet now and look at your net assets, you'll go on Xero, you'll go on whatever the other ones are for the accounting softwares that you might be using for your company. Go and look at your balance sheet and look at what the net assets are currently. If the net assets are low, there isn't a lot of value to a company. But the net asset value is another driver to the profitability and the equity value of a company. So for me, I like to reinvest back into the company, into systems, into IP, into technology that you own, into property that you own, so that the net assets are going up in value every single year. So that 500k profit that you're making every year, I want to invest back into net assets, buying assets, so that when all said is good, all of the liabilities and all of the value of the assets in a company, if you take all of the assets and you take away the liabilities that you've got, your net assets position is going up, because you will get that on top of your valuation. So let's say you've got net assets of 1 million built up in the company over the next 5 years, that's got a value to it. So actually the value price for your company, you'll get your million for your net assets that you built up, but you'd also get the 3 to 5 times multiple on the 1.5. So this company, for example, instead of just taking all the cash out, you're going to end up with a business that's getting a multiple on 500k for 1.5, and you built up £1 million of net assets in the company as well, and that's giving you £2.5 million value to the company instead of just taking the money out. And the thing is, these net assets, they're highly tax efficient, because going back to taking 100 grand out of the business and being taxed on it, if you reinvest that 100 grand back into the business and buy assets within the business, that's all tax deductible. So it's smarter money. And when you start mastering this stuff, this is when you start really growing and really doing the most important thing that overlaps all of these three, is that you are building wealth. I'm here to get wealthy, and anyone in business should be getting with the view of getting wealthy, not just making profit today, not just making a few quid and staying small, but playing the long game. That's what it's all about, and building equity value. If you master those 4 numbers in your business, you will absolutely fly. If you found this video useful and you'd like to see what your business is actually worth, but most importantly, what it could be worth if you do the right things and you get the money system right in your company, you can download a free tool in the description of this video. It's a business valuation tool. You can literally just put in your numbers and it will tell you exactly what your company is worth today. And like I say, the most important thing, what it could be worth if you do the right thing. So click the link in the description below. And remember, keep it real, go and make some money.